Well, here we are. I'd like to congratulate you first and foremost because as of this moment, you're good at yoga. I'm frequently asked, or told more specifically, I'm not good at yoga. And my response is my cookie cutter response because it's the same response every time. What makes you good at yoga is showing up to your mat. So the fact that you're here right now and you're at your mat, or your space if you don't yet have a mat, today you're good at yoga. That's all that makes you good at yoga. Every practice is different. That's why we still call it a practice. At no point will you hear anybody say, I no longer need a yoga practice. I don't have to practice anymore. I'm good at it. Because you're good just by showing up. So, let's get started. I'm going to do a bit more talking in today's video just because we're doing some basics. And I'm not sure where you're coming, where your base is. So I'm going to assume this is where you're starting. I do absolutely suggest getting with a yoga studio if they've got a beginner's course. It's really good to have somebody hands-on with you, more so than just the video, although I do love that you're coming to visit. As you can see, we're in my downstairs. We're actually in my basement. That's my yoga space. Your yoga space might be a hallway. It might be the space between the bed and the wall. I find that frequently happens when I travel and I'm in a hotel. It could be any number of places. It might be outside. Your yoga space might be going to a studio. But sometimes, like travel, this is where you end up. So, here you go. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to start in what we call child's pose. So, you're going to come onto your knees and sit your bottom all the way back on your heels. You're going to bring your knees out to the width of your mat to start, and you're going to slowly walk your hands forward, letting your chest or your heart sink down. You'll notice I frequently refer to my chest as the heart center because we're talking about this place right here. So let the chest and the heart sink down, and the forehead will come down to the mat. Extend the arms long above you, stretch out of the shoulders, but keep the bottom as close to in contact with the heels as you can. If you find that for whatever reason your bottom is lifted up and you can't bring your bottom to your heels, you can actually stack one of our handy yoga blocks under your heels and bring that up higher for you. This helps open up the back of the hips, helps bring your concentration in and your focus in. So inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth like you're fogging a mirror. Should almost sound like Darth Vader. Inhale through the nose deeply, fill the belly all the way up. Exhale through the mouth, fog that mirror. Again, inhale through the nose. This time close the lips, exhale through the nose, still try to fog that mirror. Inhale and exhale. Try to focus on this breath throughout the practice. You'll find it helps heat the body, which then helps warm the muscles and makes them more pliable for you. In and out. Slowly draw the elbows back towards the body. And then plant your hands down on the ground. You'll bring your hands slightly in front of where your shoulders are to start, but make sure that when you come up onto all fours, we call this tabletop, your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders and knees are directly underneath the hips. Nice neutral spine, no arch, no bow. Although today, that's where we're going next. So inhale, drop the belly, the head will lift. Exhale, draw the gaze into the navel as you dome the spine, cat and cow. Inhale, drop the belly, head lifts. Think of looking up towards where the wall and the ceiling meet. Exhale, gaze comes to the belly button. Inhale, belly drops. This helps warm up the spine. Exhale, dome the spine. Inhale, belly drops. Exhale, come to neutral spine. So you want that nice flat back again. On the inhale, you'll tuck your toes under. On the exhale, you're going to lift your hips into the sky and press back to a downward dog. You'll find a lot of people are almost in an awkward bear crawl position. You want to actually let those shoulders come back. If your heels never reach the floor, that's okay. Mine actually are not on, even though I've got a full extension on my legs. And first and foremost, in this first downward dog, bent legs are okay. Let's go ahead and pedal them out. Move with the breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, bend one leg. Exhale, bend the other leg and straighten the originally bent leg. Inhale and exhale. In and out. Go ahead and draw both heels down. Inhale, bend the knees, and you're going to walk your feet all the way up to your hands. Keep your feet about shoulder width apart and take a nice deep bend in the knees. If you can, if it's comfortable, support your torso on your legs. So that's going to depend on how much you bend the knees. You don't want to keep your knees locked out, especially in your first forward fold, because you want to really help release the back. I also suggest you might want to bend the knees whenever you're doing a forward fold if you've got any back or hamstring issues, especially for in the beginning of your practice, of every practice. Bent knees is not a bad thing. It keeps your back nice and healthy and keeps you able to come back to the mat. So back to keeping that torso on the top of the thighs. Maybe you let your arms come down to the mat and just leave them relaxed. Maybe you want to grab opposite elbows and sway a little bit. Or maybe you want to grab opposite elbows and not sway a little bit. Both are options for you. Go ahead and release the hands down to the mat, and on an inhale breath, slowly think lotus coming up through the mud so it can't move quickly. You're going to slowly roll up, stack one vertebrae on top of the other. Keep those knees bent until you come all the way up. Your head and neck will be the last to come up. Now the knees straighten, the shoulder blades rotate down the back, and the palms will face forward for mountain pose. On an inhale, you might bring your feet closer, you might not, it's your option. Inhale, the arms will come up overhead and you'll press the palms together. Exhale, lead with the heart, elbows bend, maybe knees bend a little. Hands come down to the mat. Inhale up to where your back comes flat. That might be all the way up here with your palms on your thighs because you want your shoulders up the same length as your spine. It might be lower. Exhale, your hands come down to the mat. Step back to what's the top of a push-up. This time, you're going to drop your knees and flip your feet and lower your chest and your chin. So you just lowered knees, chest, chin, right? Inhale, heart will lift. Exhale, come down, then push into tabletop, then downward dog. Inhale and exhale. You want to try and bring your ribs to the top of your thighs. That's the motion you're kind of thinking of. I like to think of moving my heart through between the space between my ankles. You definitely want to be able to fit a foot sideways between your feet. For downward dog, it gives you a more stable base. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, bend the knees, set the gaze at the top of the mat. Slowly walk your feet forward and fold. Inhale up to a flat back. Exhale and fold down deep. Inhale, as you come up through a flat back, the arms will reach all the way up. Exhale, bring the hands through heart center and touch mountain. That's one sun salutation. Here's another one. Inhale, arms come all the way up. Palms press. Exhale, elbows bend. Lead with the heart and fold. Inhale up to a flat back. Exhale, hands come down. Step the left foot back only. Inhale, heart lifts. You might stay just here, drive out through the back heel. You might also lift up here. It's your option. It's whatever feels better in your body. Inhale and exhale. In and out. One more. Inhale, exhale, hands come all the way down to the mat. Push back, knee into the chest, downward dog. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, rock forward to a high plank. You can either do knees, chest, chin again, or slowly lower to just above the halfway point on a push-up for chaturanga. Inhale, flip the feet. Heart lifts, thighs stay off the mat, upward dog. Keep the shoulders over top of the wrists. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward dog. You can do that one at a time, or you can slowly work towards rolling over the toes fully until you come back to downward dog. Both are options. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, the right leg comes high behind you. Your foot stays flexed like you're standing on the wall. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose and bring that foot up towards the thumb. If it doesn't make it, you can just pick your foot up and move it. It's okay. Inhale, your heart will lift. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Left foot steps forward and fold. Inhale, arms come all the way up. Touch mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up to your flat back. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Right foot will step back. Inhale, heart lifts off the thigh. Drive out through the back leg. Inhale and exhale. Make sure the knee and the ankle are stacked right over top of each other on that bent leg. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Knee into the chest as you step back to downward dog. Inhale and exhale. In and out. In and out. Inhale, rock forward, top of a high plank. You might need to step back and lower. Elbows should graze the ribs. Inhale, heart lifts, hips sink, thighs stay off the mat. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward dog. If at any time in your chaturanga you feel like your shoulders are collapsing or you're fighting to hold the form, drop your knees. It's not cheating. You need to honor where your body is in this moment of today's practice, okay? Inhale, lift the left leg, foot stays flexed. Exhale, step it through to meet the thumb. Inhale, heart lifts off the thigh. Exhale, hands come down, right foot steps forward and fold. Inhale, arms come all the way up. Exhale and touch mountain. That's your second version of a sun salutation. Here is a third. Inhale, you're going to toe heel your feet together. So your feet are going to come directly together, touching from toes to heels. It's called frequently in a studio, you'll hear it called toe heel. Toe heel your feet together. Inhale, bend at the knees, hips sink, arms reach like you're in a chair. Exhale, lead with the heart and fold. Inhale, halfway lift to your flat back, wherever that may be. Exhale, step back, top of a push-up, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, downward dog. Now, if you choose to do knees, chest, chin, the reason you go through tabletop first is it actually takes the stressor off of your low back. Inhale, the right leg comes high, foot flexed. Exhale, knee to the nose, step it through to the thumb. Back heel will spin down to a 45-degree angle, so your toes will point up to the left corner of your mat. Inhale, arms reach all the way up. Draw the right hip back, left hip forward. Exhale, hands float down, surround the foot, step back, top of a push-up, and lower. Your choice, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, downward dog. You'll notice every time I go into downward dog, if you're able to watch and not working with me, that I step my feet forward. We don't need to be in a pike from plank. This is actually better for your back, especially if you choose to bend the knees, which is always an option. You'll find this just fits you better. Inhale, the left leg will come high. Exhale, knee to the nose, bring the foot to the left thumb, spin the right foot down, right toes will point up to the right top corner of the mat. Inhale, arms reach, left hip comes back, right hip comes forward. You want to square your body towards the front of that mat. Exhale, hands come down, surround the foot, step back, top of a push-up, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale and exhale. In and out. In and out. Inhale, bend the knees, set the gaze. Exhale, bring the feet to the hands. You can walk, hop, or float. Inhale up to a flat back. exhale, fold down deep. Inhale, arms reach all the way up. Exhale and touch mountain. All right, so go ahead and find your way to a seat. We're going to work a little core now. So go ahead, extend the arms in front of you, tuck your chin in, and roll all the way onto your back. Bring your knees up. Think about sitting in a hard chair, but it's been flipped on its back. Bring your hands, your palms to the top of your thighs. As you inhale, you're going to press into your palms, and exhale, resist. In and out. In and out. Inhale and exhale. In and out. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. Maybe you'll rock back and forth a little bit. Maybe you'll rock side to side. I like to rock in a circular motion, using the tailbone as the U portion, so I can work around the spine itself. All right, one more. Extend the legs up to the sky. Right leg will drop down about a third. Extend your arms straight out, reaching towards those right heels. Inhale, lift the head and heart. Exhale and hold. Inhale and exhale. In and out. In and out. In and out. One more. Inhale. Exhale, draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. Extend the legs up to the ceiling again. This time you'll lower the left leg about a third. Both legs are long and feet are flexed like standing on the ceiling. Extend your hands out towards the heel of the left foot. Inhale, lift the head and heart. Exhale and hold. Inhale and exhale. In and out. In and out. In, out. One more. Inhale. Exhale, draw the knees in. Inhale and exhale. Give yourself a nice hug. Go ahead and cross the ankles and start to rock forward and back. Come up to a seat and swing around. You're going to come into a tabletop position, and you're going to walk your hands back to your knees. So you come to stand on your knees. You can either leave the tops of your feet pressed into the mat, or you can tuck the toes under. I'm more comfortable with the tops of my feet pressed into the mat. My feet tend to cramp if I tuck my toes, and I know a lot of people that are more comfortable the other way around. It's whatever feels better in your body. So we're going into camel pose, Ustrasana. So your fingers might point up, they might point down on the back of your hips, or you might choose to use fists. I like to use my fingers pointing up most of the time. You want to draw the shoulders back and the elbows so they're parallel to each other. Inhale, you might stay here. Exhale, maybe the hips shift forward a little bit. Maybe the heart lifts up. Maybe you do reach back for those heels. Frequently, this is why people like to tuck their toes under. It brings the heels a little closer. It's the same principle as using a block. Or you may not feel like this today, and you might be mostly vertical. And that's okay. And just breathe. Slowly begin to walk the hands back up the back of the legs. Come vertical. Come back to tabletop position. Resist the urge to arch or bow the back here. And you're actually going to shift yourself back to a child's pose. Leave the knees closer together. And this is a nice counter to camel. And just stay here for a few breaths. slowly start to come back up to tabletop. And you swing yourself back around to a seat, still facing the top of the mat, but for our purposes, I'm going to face you. And go ahead and bend your right leg, leave the left leg long, and you're going to bring your right foot to the outside of the left knee. Make sure your foot stays fully flat down on the mat. And you're going to reach around with the left arm and hug that leg into the chest. If the flexibility is there, you can anchor the elbow on the outside of the knee. It's whatever's comfortable. For visual, let me show you this right quick. Inhale, you're going to cartwheel the right arm behind you. Bring it right up against the spine so your spine stays nice and straight, so there's no room for air between your back and your arm. You need that kickstand and that leverage. On the exhale, you're going to take more twist with the spine. Keep that right foot flat on the ground. Inhale and exhale. In and out. Inhale and exhale. You may find on the inhale you unwind a little. That's normal. On the exhale, you have room for more twist. That's perfectly fine. One more inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Go ahead and bring your right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Here you might choose to use a strap. Extend the reach around the foot. On the inhale, the back lengthens. Maybe the arms reach straight up. On the exhale, keeping the spine nice and straight, you take a fold over that long leg. Don't round the spine. Let the heart reach straight to the foot. If the hips are a little tight, maybe you sit up on a block. It'll help give you more rotation forward in the hip. I'll show you on the other side. Inhale, slowly walk the hands up the shin. Release the foot if it's in a bind. And switch sides. So this time you'll bring the left foot to the outside of the right knee. Hug in with the right arm against the left leg. Inhale, cartwheel that arm right behind you, right up against the spine. Exhale, take your twist. Inhale and exhale. I like to look out over the shoulder that I'm twisting towards. In and out. It's kind of a check for me that I can make sure I'm actually twisting. Inhale and exhale. In and out. In and out. Inhale, come back to center. Go ahead and bring that foot to the inside of the left thigh. I'm going to give you that visual with the block. So you might sit up on the block and get your sit bones towards the back. And bring your foot in towards the thigh. Inhale, the arms come high if you're not using a strap. Exhale, hinge forward, back straight. Reach. Wherever your hands may come, that might be on the thigh, it might be the calf, it might be the ankle, it might be the toes. It could even be past the foot. All of these are options. It's wherever today's practice is. Just remember to keep that back nice and straight. You see, I forgot. Inhale, slowly walk the hands up the shin. Release the leg. Extend them both out far in front of you. Inhale, the arms come high. Exhale, reach. Spine stays straight. Find your hamstrings and your calves particularly love this. This helps loosen up and open up the low back. Remember to focus on the breath. Inhale, slowly walk the hands up the legs. You're going to extend the arms long in front of you, tuck your chin, slowly roll all the way onto your back. Oh, that feels lovely. Let's go down to on the screen. Going to bring both knees up into your chest. You're going to take your left hand on the outside of your right knee, and you're going to take a twist of the legs to the left side. You want to make sure your shoulders stay in contact with the ground. If that means that your hand has to come to your thigh so your legs can lengthen down, so that you have a little less twist in the spine, but keeping the twist actually happening, that's okay. You can extend the right arm long out to the side in a T and gaze out over the arm, if that's an option, if there's room in your space. If not, you can bring your arms to goalposts. Inhale and slowly bring the knees up into center. You're going to switch hands and switch sides. So your right hand's coming to the outside of the left knee, and you're bringing both knees over to your right side. The left arm comes out to the side, gaze comes over the hand. Both shoulders stay in contact. Inhale, the knees come back to center. Extend both legs straight up, feet flex like you're standing on the ceiling. Slowly lower one leg all the way to the ground, followed by the other. Once there, let your feet splay open. Arms come out to the side, palms will face up. Go ahead and close your eyes and enjoy your Shavasana. This is the last pose of pretty much every practice. And this is where you get to bring your nervous system back down and feel that release at the end of your practice. This is one of your most important poses, and just relax. No, it's not time to move yet. Take the full time for Shavasana. slowly start to bring awareness back to the body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And rotate your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, the arms come high and long overhead like that deep early morning stretch. Maybe the toes point. Exhale, bring the knees into the chest and give yourself a hug. Slowly rocking side to side. Eventually coming to rest on your right side. Unless pregnant, you'll go to your left. Your arm, your bicep will be a pillow. And when you're ready, take your left hand, press it into the mat. Push yourself up to a seated position at the top of your mat. Legs can be crossed. You can be in lotus or not. You'll notice I don't. And bring your hands to heart center. This may or may not be within your practice. It's not a religion. Just inhale, exhale. I'd like to thank you for coming to your mat today, for sharing this space with me, and for allowing me to share space with you. Namaste simply means the light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. I encourage you to have a wonderful day or evening. Namaste. Thank you.